Ruben Amorim argues two-man UTD stars in one moment can elevate entire stadium. He saw it firsthand versus Arsenal. Ruben Amorim singled out to Manchester United players for the most important thing that he could take away from the Premier League match against Arsenal. Manchester United finally returned to Premier League action for the first time since May, with the Red Devils finishing an abysmal 15th place in the 2024-25 campaign. The Red Devils faced a tough test in their start to the 2025-26 Premier League season, with United hosting Arsenal at Old Trafford on the opening weekend. United fell short to Arsenal on Sunday afternoon, and the Gunners inflicted a 1-0 defeat on Ruben Amorim's men. Despite a strong showing from the Red Devils, Riccardo Calafiori broke the deadlock in the first half for Arsenal and Mikel. Arteta's men maintained their lead to ensure they walked away with all 3 points. Ruben Amorim's immediate reaction to Man Utd's Premier League performance versus Arsenal at Old Trafford. Manchester United were dealt a major blow in the 13th minute after Riccardo Calafiori netted for Arsenal, with Alti Benara at fault for the first half opener. Alti Baindier palmed the ball into the path of Riccardo Calafiori after scrambling to clear a Declan Rice corner with the Arsenal defender heading from close range. Despite the early setback against the Gunners, United manager Amorim watched on from the Old Trafford sidelines as the Red Devils fought hard to find an equalizer. Speaking after United's 1-2-0 Premier League defeat, the 40-year-old former Sporting CP head coach argued that the Red Devils had come a long way since last season. "We were more aggressive than last year," he said, as per Manchester United's official website. "We sprint more. We were more brave. We let 1-against-1 in all of the game. We pressed high, and then with the ball, we have quality. Even when the stadium makes some sounds, we continue to play the way we play." Ruben Amorim singles out what Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo showed for Man Utd against Arsenal at Old Trafford. United summer signings Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo were both handed their Premier League debuts for the Red Devils in Sunday's 1-0 defeat to Arsenal. Both Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo started alongside Mason Mount in attack, and the trio were lively in their interactions with one another on the pitch. Ex-Brentford star Mbeumo and ex-Wolves ace Cunha played the full 90 minutes, and Amorim talked up both of their meaningful presences on the pitch at Old Trafford. "We lost fewer balls in the build-up compared to last year was where we struggled a lot," Amorim continued. "And then, the small things that we talk about at the beginning of this season, that players like Matheus Cunha, like Brian Mbeumo, in one moment can elevate the stadium. So, I think the most important thing, we were not boring." United face Fulham on the 24th of June, 4:30 p.m. at Craven Cottage. Ebericia's transfer latest, Tottenham and Arsenal interest, clear message, replacement search. The latest Tottenham and Arsenal transfer news, as there has been a lot of talk over the future of the Crystal Palace man. Eberician is one of the names on everyone's lips going into the final 2 weeks of the summer transfer window. The Crystal Palace star has been of interest to Arsenal throughout the summer. However, it now seems that Tottenham Hotspur have taken the lead in the race for the England international. Spurs are on the lookout for a replacement for attacking midfielder James Maddison, who is starting his recovery from a serious knee injury. He is expected to miss the majority of the 2025-26 season. As Spurs step up their interest in ES, there were some reports that he would be left out of the squad for Palace's games against Chelsea. That, however, wasn't the case. Here's the latest on the midfielder's future. Clear message sent. Despite the speculation over his future, Ez was named in the starting sheet for Palace's Premier League match against Chelsea on Sunday. Explaining the decision to Sky Sports before the match, Palace boss Oliver Glasner said, "I mentioned it in the press conference. Mark Guéhi and Ibes trained well for the whole week. There's no reason not to start him. Good advice to all the children. Don't believe everything they're reading in the newspapers." EHS almost made a big impact in the first half of the game, putting a thunderbolt of a free kick past Robert Sanchez and into the back of the net to give Palace what they thought was a lead. However, the goal was ruled out after a VAR check with Mark Guéhi, adjudged to have been too close to the Chelsea wall. Replacement search? Amid the talk over Ez's future, it seems that Palace are now looking for a replacement. On Saturday, it was claimed that the Eagles had made an approach to Leicester City over attacking midfielder Bilo El Khanous, who is high on their list. It has emerged on Sunday that Palace have also looking at Christos Tzolis from Club Brugge. Palace are said to have seen a bid rejected by the Belgian club, but are expected to go in with an improved offer. Release clause. Ez did have a release clause in his contract at Palace worth a reported £68 million. However, that clause expired on Friday night, meaning that it gives slightly more control to Palace. It is, however, claimed that Ez is still expected to leave Palace this summer, with The Athletic claiming that he has told the club of his wish to join Spurs before the deadline. Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner hit back at rumors Eberechi Ez would not face Chelsea on Sunday amid transfer interest and revealed the forward's release clause has expired. Tottenham are in discussions with Palace over a deal for Ez as they look to add a new number 10 before the transfer deadline on September 1st. And there had initially been doubts over whether he would feature at Stamford Bridge. But Ez was named in Palace's starting lineup against Chelsea on the opening weekend of the Premier League and had a goal ruled out by an unusual law following a VAR check in a 0-0 draw at Stamford Bridge. Glasner pushed back against rumors that wouldn't feature, warning not to believe everything written online. He explained that if the negative reports about his players were true, they wouldn't be performing or showing the strong commitment that exists within the squad. He said Ez trained all week, is an important Crystal Palace player, and there was no reason not to select him. Glasner also confirmed that Ez's £68 million release clause has expired. So, with 2 weeks left in the window, any decision on his future rests with the club. Ez remains a top target for Spurs this summer, though no bid has been made and Palace value him at £70 million, with 2 years left on his deal. Ahead of Thursday's UEFA Conference League playoff against Fredrikstad, Glasner confirmed will train as normal this week and expects him to be involved in the first leg. Speaking at Stamford Bridge, Chris Sutton compared Ez's situation to Alexander Isak at Newcastle, noting the difference in professionalism. While Isak has stopped training after pushing for a move, Sutton praised Ez as a good type who continues to work hard. He said Oliver Glasner will want his best players available, and with Ez being central to Palace's success last season, their chances of getting a result at Chelsea improve with him in the starting lineup. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Gianluigi Donnarumma is reportedly closing in on a move to Manchester City after Galatasaray launched a bid for Ederson. Italy star Donnarumma has been axed by Paris Saint-Germain just months after leading them to Champions League glory, and he has emerged as a target for City amid speculation over Ederson's future. But now, Fabrizio Romano claims Donnarumma is indeed nearing an Etihad switch. Current City number 1, Ederson has long been in the crosshairs of Turkish champs Galatasaray, and they have finally made an offer for the Brazilian worth £8.5 million. City had previously been against selling Ederson, with the stopper coming close to a big-money Saudi Arabian switch last summer. But it's added that they are ready to let him leave the Etihad if Gala increased their bid with a new offer. Ederson's exit will then open the door for Donnarumma to move to England, following links with City's rivals Man United and Chelsea. The former AC Milan star is regarded as one of the world's best when it comes to but his lack of technique could be an issue with City's style of playing from the back. Donnarumma could cost as little as £35 million though, making him a bargain for Pep Guardiola's side. Ederson was left out of City's squad for their opening day clash against Wolves, fueling speculation of an exit. But before kickoff, Guardiola claimed the Brazilian was actually missing due to illness. He said, Ederson has a stomach illness. He was constantly vomiting due to this condition. That's why he's not in the squad. It does raise questions over the £27 million return of James Trafford, who rejoined City from Burnley last month, while Stefan Ortega remains at the club despite links with Germany. Man City received first official bid for player Guardiola wants to stay despite Donnarumma's stance. According to Fabrizio Romano, Manchester City have received an offer for Ederson, who could leave after 8 years at the club. Pep Guardiola has confirmed that Ederson is his no.1 goalkeeper right now, and is fit to face Wolverhampton Wanderers on Saturday. However, the Brazilian has not traveled for the Premier League opener and summer signing James Trafford is expected to make his debut in goal. Ederson didn't come to me and say I want to leave or I have an offer, Guardiola said on Friday. All the players are here and are our players, and I work with them. What's going to happen? Nobody knows. The 31-year-old has been linked with an exit all summer, with clubs in Turkey and Saudi Arabia keen and reported interest in unwanted Paris. Saint-Germain goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma has only added fuel to the fire. With Galatasaray in pole position to land Ederson, transfer expert Romano confirmed on Saturday morning that the Turkish champions have made an opening offer for the ex-Benfica goalkeeper. Romano says Man City have received an offer worth €10 million, £8.6 million, but Guardiola's side want a higher fee. Donnarumma, meanwhile, has already opened doors to City move, and if he joins, Ederson is free to leave. Romano posted on X Galatasaray sent first official bid to Man City for Ederson proposal in the region of €10 million, while City asked for a higher fee. Gigio Donnarumma has already opened doors to City move. No issues on personal terms. If Ederson leaves, Donnarumma can join Man City. Sky Sports reporters Leal Thomas and Adrian Kajumba reported on Friday that Guardiola wants Ederson to stay and remain their first-choice keeper. Manchester City want Ederson to stay, but if he leaves before the deadline, they may look for a replacement. PSG's Gianluigi Donnarumma, long tracked by City, could be on their shortlist, though no talks are underway, and he's viewed as a possible free transfer option next year. Donnarumma posted a statement on Thursday evening that confirmed he is leaving. To the special Paris fans, from the first day I arrived, I gave everything on and off the pitch to earn my place and defend the goal of Paris Saint-Germain, the Italian wrote in a letter to the club's supporters. I'm saddened to no longer be part of the team. If I can't say goodbye at the Parc des Princes, know that your support has meant everything to me. I'll always cherish the memories, magical nights, and how you made me feel at home. To my teammates, my second family, thank you for every battle, every laugh, every moment we shared. You will always be my brothers. Playing for this club and living in this city has been an immense honor. Thank you, Paris. Thanks for watching. Stay for the next content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Emotional Arne Slot admits he had wanted to bring late Diogo Jota on as a substitute in Liverpool's dramatic victory over Bournemouth. Arne Slot says he would have loved to have brought on Diogo Jota in a heartbreaking admission following Liverpool's dramatic 4-2 win over Bournemouth on Friday. What happened? The Reds found themselves in search of a late winner after their 2-goal lead was wiped out by a second-half double from Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo on the opening night of the 2025-26 Premier League season. The bigger picture? In an inspired substitution, Slot turned to Federico Chiesa in Liverpool's moment of need, and the Italy international came up trumps, putting his side 3-2 ahead before Mohamed Salah added a fourth to seal all 3 points for the Anfield club. However, Slot admitted after the match that he wished he could have brought on Jota, 28, who tragically died alongside his brother, Andre Silva, 25, in a car crash in Spain in July. What Slot said. In an emotional post-match interview, Slot said, "Normally at 2-2, everyone knows which player I look to at that moment in time. I would have loved to bring in Diogo Jota, but I could not for terrible reasons. But tonight, the fans and the players did what he did for us many times in the past. Tell me more." Powerful tributes were paid before, during, and after the match to Jota, whose family were in attendance at Anfield. Liverpool supporters in both the Kop and the Sir Kenny Dalglish stands formed mosaics which read DJ20 and AS30, while Talisman Salah was moved to tears as he joined in a rendition of Jota's chant. What next for Slot in Liverpool? Next up for Liverpool is a tricky away trip to Newcastle United on August 25th, a clash that promises to be one of the early highlights of the Premier League season. For Arne Slot, this fixture will serve as another major test of his tactical philosophy and ability to manage high-pressure games, especially against a side known for their intensity at St. James Park. The match also carries added spice given the recent transfer saga involving Alexander Isak. Liverpool had a massive £110 million, $149 million bid for the striker, rejected by Newcastle on August 1st, underlining their ambition to bolster their attacking options. Isak himself has made headlines by refusing to feature for Eddie Howe's side amid his preference for a switch to Anfield and a chance to link up with the Premier League champions. Whether the deal can still be revived before the transfer window closes remains uncertain. But the ongoing saga adds drama to an already high-stakes encounter. For Slot, focus is vital. Despite injuries and transfer distractions, Liverpool's strong start must continue. Beating Newcastle would boost their title push and show rivals that Slot's new era is already taking shape. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.